Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aini Najmia binti Muhammad and I will explain road to be registered valuer direct entry graduates for local graduate candidate. First, must be in diploma in estate management, and the criteria is must SPN or O level a minimum of 3 credit, one of which must be mathematics. In addition, will need to acquire at least a pass in Malay and English language. A diploma in real estate management is typically 2.5 years in length, during which time we get all the necessary information regarding real estate. After finish diploma, option of starting work as a valuer immediately by applying for a probationary estate agent license from the board BOA. After 2 years of work under the supervision of a registered property agent and passing the test of professional competence, may become a registered valuer and apply for an estate business license to operate own real estate agency. Next, degree in real estate management. Student must have passed SPN or an equivalent qualification as well as pra-university. So for the pra-university, the typical admission criteria that student must SPN minimum 2 Cs or CGPA 2.0, or diploma minimum CGPA must 2.0 also. And in addition, must have a credit in mathematics as well as a pass in English or Malay at the SPN level or equivalent qualification. A bachelor degree in real estate management normally complete in 3 or 3.5 years. Certain institutions may require industrial training or internship in order to supplement theoretical education in this area of study, and some universities may require participation in both.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Harun. So I present about the road to becoming a registered valuer direct entry by overseas graduate candidates. For the first is minimum of 3 credit in mathematics, Bahasa Malaysia and English from the Malaysian Certificate of Education, which is MCE, or Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM. Secondly is overseas institute. Receive the following academic credit from an Australian institute. First is Curtin University of Technology Perth, Western Australia. Second is University of Queensland in Bachelor of Business in Real Property Valuation and Administration. Third is University of South Australia. And lastly is University of Technology Sydney in Bachelor of Property Economics. Next is Canada. Canada has provided with the following academic credit in University of British Columbia, which is in Diploma in Urban Land Economics and Bachelor of Business Real Estate. Next is receive the following academic credit from a New Zealand institute, which is University Auckland in Bachelor of Property Administration. And second is Massey University in Bachelor of Business Study of Valuation and Property Management. Next is receive the following academic accreditation from an Singapore Institute, which is the National University of Singapore in Bachelor of Science in Estate Management. Step 3 to become a registered valuer is RES recognized degree. For a bachelor degree, the program volume must have at least 3,600 hours, and the postgraduate master degree or a postgraduate diploma, it must be at least 1,200 hours. A postgraduate diploma that accepts non-cognate student must have a total qualification time at least 1,800 hours. An undergraduate degree must have at least 180 ECTS, and the postgraduate degree must have at least 60 ECTS for university that use the European Credit Transfer System ECTS, which is in authoritatively certificate. A minimum of 1,000 study hours from the highest undergraduate level should be used for any approved program. And lastly is confirmation from the component education regulator or authority that have program is regulate the country of delivery. Therefore, to become a registered valuer is training or working experience. First, as the probationary value, you must register with the board. Second is full-time work training for 2 years under the supervision of a registered valuer. And lastly is keep a diary of your work in 2 years. Step 5 to become a registered valuer is test of professional competence. First, in section 18.3, a probationary valuer must first gain practical experience and pass the board's test of professional competence which is in TPC or any equivalent test or examination recognized by the board in order to become a registered valuer. Next is test of professional competence, which is TPC. First is professional experience. Second is submission of work, diary or logbook. Third is submission of record experience. Fourth is submission of 2 practical tasks. And lastly is professional interview. Finally is registered valuer as the agent or property manager. First is to be a registered valuer, it must have education in university. Second is 2-year trainings. Third is TPC. Fourth is CPD to renew a license. Next is under the law. Both are registered can practice evaluation, estate agency, and property management.
This picture shows the education pathway. In order to pursue a professional career as a valuer, it is necessary to complete a course that has been approved by the Malaysian Board of Valuers, Appraiser and Estate Agent. If this is not the case, extra written exam may be required. Upon completion of this pathway, will be able to register as a registered valuer and begin working as a real estate valuer.
Hi, my name is Siti Aisha. Today I'm gonna explain about the second role of becoming a registered valuer. To becoming a registered valuer, it begins with passing the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia (SPM) in high school at least 5 credit level pass in any subject or passing at least 2 principal for the Sijil Tinggi Persekolahan Malaysia (STPM). So here we divide into 2 categories, which is first by experience. By experience, the candidate must be a person or not less than 27 years age and have been started working in the industry and have at least 7 years of experience under the supervision of registered valuer. Other than that, they can take the working experience of road to become a registered valuer by using their relevant diploma that has been approved by the board and working as an assistant valuer officer for at least 6 months. After they fulfill all the requirements, they can take RES614 examination that consists of first, intermediate, and final or direct final examination.
So next we go to the rules after entry from direct entry graduates and working experience, which is for training or working experience and PV, and the test of professional competence, which is TPC. So in section 17A, the registration of probationary valuers, which is PV, where PV registration is required after graduates from both which are direct entry graduates and working experience and has completing the board examinations. Then they need to follow the entitlement to enter in registration as PV that's stated in section 17A, subsection 1. In section 18, qualifications for RV and PV, where a person who wants to be a RV need to be a PV first, but they also need to pass the final exam from recognized local and international university or obtain qualification which board recognized. So an RV requires practical experience and pass the TPC or an equivalent exam recognized by the board in order to qualify the registrate for RV. So the PV could apply to the board to have their name listed as RV if they pass the TPC. A person who is graduate member of Property Consultancy and Valuation Surveying section of the ISM and has complied subsection 3 are qualified for the registrations. Rules 33 at 242 Valuers Examinations, which is in subsection 3, the TPC shall consist of practical examinations and oral examinations. And in subsection 7, a candidate for the TPC shall satisfy the conditions which has been registered as a PV under the Act and has passed the final examination or the direct final examinations, and also has completed 2 years of post-qualifying practical experience under RV or RA practicing in Malaysia. According to Rule 33, subsection 7, the format for TPC to be RV is: first, need to have professional experience; second, submissions of work diary and logbook; third, submission of records of experience, which is ROE; fourth, submission of 2 practical tasks; and fifth, a professional interview. In Rules 33, subsection 9, the board may issue the guidelines to facilitate the conducting of TPC. And last but not least is subsection 10, the candidate who passed the TPC considered as passed the TPC, which is mean they passed the valuers examinations.